Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. We're celebrating #Transformation Tuesday, and we have Kent Speakman here. He's a digital entrepreneur, producer, and the creator of Connect TV, and you are transforming media as we know it. Thank you so much for what you're doing with social awareness and your vision. It's truly incredible. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you. Well, I, around a year and a half ago, started Connect TV. Our first show was the Make-A-Wish Foundation's Power of a Wish Gala in New York, hosted by Nigel Barker, and we went live just to Facebook with a multi-camera live show. So we did the red carpet, charity auction items. We had people at home bidding on the items, and we ended up winning Campaign of the Year for that show. We did it again last year. We went from 1.3 million with them to 1.7 last year, and we're getting ramped up for this June's next show.
It's a heck of a way to start.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So take us back, because like how do you start this journey? So I mean, the intention is believe and changing the world, and I mean we're totally in alignment with the community here. But tell us a little bit what was it that got you interested in this journey?
Well, I'm from Canada, and I've always been in production. Music videos, documentaries, that type of thing. And when I moved to LA, I started coming to some of these big galas, and I was surprised to see you'd have 500 or 1,000 people in the room with amazing, like Bruno Mars performing, and these wonderful hosts, and that 1,000 people was all that was able to see it and learn from the speakers and all of the impactful things that were being shared in that room. So I thought, what if we could share that with the world and have everyone else get engaged? And that's kind of the precipice of how it started.
That makes sense.
So cool. So
Right?
cool.
There's so many places in LA you go to things you're like, is this really happening right now? Like there's some like incredible singers, some celebrities, everything, and you're like, how did this even happen? It's bizarre, all the amazing things, and people up to nonprofits and making a difference in the world. I love that.
It's Kent, it's all him. Behind it all, pulling the strings.
No, I'm just trying to support the good people that are out there doing the work, and I feel like that's how I'm doing my work, is by supporting them. So
It's fantastic. Did you always know you wanted to be in entertainment?
I did, yeah. Since I was, I think I was 12 or 13, my parents bought a camcorder, and we'd go around shooting little videos and editing it on the VHS player. And I'm making myself sound old, but
That was my start in entertainment. I did the same thing. I had my own DIY talk show in my friend Katie's basement.
nice.
I never heard of VHS. What is that? Never heard of it. I only know MP3s. Well, good for you. I was the exact opposite of that. I hid from people. It's so interesting to me to be so clear at 12 or 13. Did you have a direction at that point in time? I know you wanted to go in entertainment, but did you want to be clearly you wanted to be in front of the camera, behind the camera?
A little bit of both, and the odd thing was it didn't really make sense. All of it kind of started to make sense about a year and a half ago, and when I was that age, my dad was the head of environmental protection, and my mom was an inner city school principal, so working with high at-risk youth. And I never really realized how much that played into what I'm doing today until the last year and a half, and then I was like, all of a sudden, all these little things from childhood make sense.
Right. So you say on your website it says, believe and then change the world. How do you think we change the world?
Well, there's a lot of ways. I think it's for the individual having the belief in themselves that they can go out and take the steps to, if it's lose weight or be healthy or impact whatever the cause is. That's the first step. And then make the connections and the people around you, bring them on board or figure out what you need to do to connect to make that happen. And then through that, you can get to the place where you can make change happen.
Nice.
What's been the most challenging part of this journey for you?
Well, I moved from Canada, and I moved here as a producer, so it's kind of like full hands-on, and I don't have the ability to, or I moved here 6 years ago, I didn't have the ability to do anything else. LA, as we all know, has a lot of side jobs and things like that, and I wasn't able to do that, so I had to be really clear and focused on this is what I'm doing and make it happen. So
That's kind of a blessing, though, isn't it?
it is, yeah. It's a challenge and a blessing because it gives you that narrow focus that this is what you're going to do, and there's no sort of deviation from that plan.
So I'm wondering, who's inspired you in all this? Do you have a mentor or someone you're looking to?
Yes, I've had and have a few mentors. Keith Ferrazzi, he wrote Never Eat Alone and Who's Got Your Back. He was a big influencer for me on connection and understanding relationships. Another mentor of mine, Ferlin Chumlek, actually passed away this last summer. And then John Durham, who is the CEO of Catalyst in San Francisco. Those have been some of my biggest mentors. And then other friends and family along the way, but those would probably be the three people that I've worked with.
And what do you think would be the biggest lesson that you've learned from them?
Oh, that's so tough to summarize in one
tweet.
sound
What would you say?
The biggest lesson, I think, is just treat other people the way that you want to be treated, and if you help others to succeed, you will as well. And it doesn't. It's not a definite like equation where I help you and then something immediately comes back, but you just keep doing it and not expecting it to come back individually, and it will.
And that is crucial to your success here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
This is a relationship town. Entertainment is built on who you know and the relationships you foster.
Yeah.
It's so interesting you say that. I absolutely love that. There's a quote somewhere that essentially is like, love is the only math that works by multiplication through addition, meaning that you give out a little bit of love and it comes back, tenfold, 20-fold, but not necessarily from the direction you expected it to come back from, right?
Right.
The challenge I've always found is getting to that place where you can love just for the joy of it, right? So how did you get there? I know it's tough. I think growing up, I know I was always attached to like not getting it back. I'd do something, they didn't do anything back for me and they're not grateful. How did you get to the place where you've been able to give without an expectation of reciprocity?
And that's a great question, because that was a challenge at the beginning, and here or Canada, wherever you are, it's not always going to happen, and you'll get burned or feel like people have taken advantage of you, and that happened quite often. And I think through yoga, meditation, and just having that belief in knowing in your own self that eventually it's going to work out and be okay. I think I got to the place through those steps.
Yeah, I love that.
Interesting.
We call it the law of correlation. Life is a grand mirror of whatever we give out has to come back. But so knowing that, we know that, of course, like yoga, that's great that you are not saying, you realize that it's got to come from within, whatever. But for people out there that are listening right now or watching, what would you tell them to do beyond the yoga, beyond knowing it's coming from within? Where would they go in LA? How do they connect?
With other people?
Yeah, like what any tips you could give people of connecting in Los Angeles?
That's a great question. I found like through me, I did meet a lot of wonderful people through yoga, and mindful spiritual people that were able to help sort of lead that path in the right direction that way. And that's probably the best advice.
Or tune in to Connect TV
Right?
and get inspired. I mean, you're missing the big one here. You have a really exciting other projects that you're working on. Tell us about them.
Well, we just finished WITMA, which is Wellbeing in the Modern Age. That was this Saturday. We were live all day from Noy House. We've got a couple more fun, exciting events coming up in the next few weeks, and then New York. I've got something we're pending in DC next month. We just did some coverage for the march that was on Saturday. And we've got some sort of unbiased news content that we're starting to look at, so we're not trying to polarize people with political views, but kind of meet down the middle.
The world is craving that.
I think it's due time for it.
And where can people find more about you and Connect TV?
So my personal handle is Kent Speakman on pretty much every platform, and then Connect is KNEKT.TV.
I love that. Well, we are total believers that names have profound meanings for your life and your mission. So obviously you're here to have a voice for So we love that.
Boom, Dr. Erin.
That's right.
That's what's up.
So really excited to watch the journey and get involved and stuff. It's a great synergy.
Yeah.
Same work,
And
different
it's
place
exciting
out in
to
the
see
field.
everything that's happening here at Focus as well. You guys
sure.
are doing great work. And
We all believe, we all want to connect, and we all want to change the world. We'll be back with more Good Morning La La Land. Stay tuned.